The fear of the unknown has been a part of human existence since the dawn of time. From the earliest days of our species, we have been afraid of what we do not know, what we cannot see or understand. As our societies have grown and evolved, so too have our fears. And in the age of technology, our worst nightmares can be unleashed with the click of a button. The algorithm of fear is a powerful tool that can be used to manipulate our emotions. It is a complex formula designed to create a sense of dread and uncertainty in our minds. It can be used to target our deepest insecurities and amplify our anxieties, making us more susceptible to manipulation and control. The algorithm of fear is a weapon that can be wielded by anyone with the means to do so. Governments, corporations, and individuals alike can use it to further their own agendas, whether that be for profit, power, or control. It can be used to create a false sense of security, lulling us into complacency while our rights and freedoms are slowly eroded. Or it can be used to create a feeling of vulnerability and helplessness, making us more willing to accept whatever measures are put in place to protect us. The rise of social media has made it easier than ever to spread fear and uncertainty on a global scale. With the click of a button, a single post or tweet can be seen by millions of people, amplifying the effects of the algorithm of fear exponentially. And with the use of targeted advertising and data analysis, these messages can be tailored to individual users, making them even more effective. But the algorithm of fear is not invincible. It can be countered by education, critical thinking, and a willingness to question the information we are presented with. By understanding how fear is used to manipulate us, we can become more resistant to its effects. And by seeking out diverse sources of information, we can gain a more nuanced understanding of the world around us, one that is not distorted by fear and uncertainty. In the end, the algorithm of fear is just one tool in a much larger toolbox. It is up to us to decide how we want to use it, and whether we want to be controlled by it or not. As we continue to navigate the complex and ever-changing world of technology, we must remember that we are not powerless in the face of fear. We have the ability to resist, to question, and to choose a better way forward. The power of fear is an undeniable force that has been used throughout history to manipulate the behavior and decisions of individuals, groups, and even entire societies. The ability to instill fear in others can be a potent tool for those seeking to control and influence their thoughts and actions. In the modern era, the algorithm of fear has become an increasingly powerful tool for manipulating human emotions. This complex formula is designed to exploit our weaknesses and vulnerabilities, creating a sense of dread and uncertainty that can be difficult to shake. The algorithm of fear is often used to create a false sense of security, convincing people that they are safe and protected when, in reality, they are not. This can lead individuals and groups to ignore warning signs and take risks that they might not otherwise take, ultimately putting them in danger. At the same time, the algorithm of fear can also be used to create a feeling of powerlessness and helplessness. By overwhelming individuals with fear and anxiety, they may become more willing to accept the decisions and actions of those in positions of authority, even if those decisions and actions are harmful or unjust. One of the most insidious aspects of the algorithm of fear is its ability to manipulate our emotions, often without us even realizing it. By targeting our deepest fears and anxieties, it can create a sense of dread that can be difficult to shake. This can be particularly effective in the age of social media, where fear-inducing messages can be disseminated quickly and easily to a vast audience. Despite its power, however, the algorithm of fear is not invincible. By understanding how it works and the ways in which it can be used to manipulate our emotions, we can become more resistant to its effects. This may involve seeking out diverse sources of information, practicing critical thinking, and being willing to question the information we are presented with. In the end, the power of fear will always be a potent force in human affairs. But by recognizing its potential for manipulation and working to resist its effects, we can empower ourselves and build a more just and equitable society. Fear is a natural human emotion that has been present since the dawn of time. It serves as a survival instinct, warning us of potential danger and helping us make decisions that will keep us safe. However, in the wrong hands, fear can be a powerful tool for manipulation and control. The algorithm of fear is a complex formula that can be used to exploit our insecurities and vulnerabilities. It can be used to create a false sense of security, convincing us that we are safe when we are not. Alternatively, it can create a feeling of vulnerability and helplessness, making us more susceptible to the influence of those in power. One of the most insidious aspects of the algorithm of fear is its ability to manipulate our emotions. By targeting our deepest fears and anxieties, it can create a sense of dread and uncertainty that can be difficult to shake. This can be particularly effective in the age of social media, where fear-inducing messages can be disseminated quickly and easily to a vast audience. The algorithm of fear can also be used to control and manipulate our behavior and decisions. By creating a false sense of security or inducing feelings of vulnerability, it can influence the choices we make and the actions we take. This can be particularly dangerous when those in power use fear to manipulate people into supporting policies or actions that are harmful or unjust. Ultimately, the algorithm of fear is a powerful weapon that can be used to control and manipulate people. However, it is not invincible. By recognizing its potential for manipulation and working to resist its effects, we can empower ourselves and build a more just and equitable society. This may involve seeking out diverse sources of information, practicing critical thinking, and being willing to question the information we are presented with. In conclusion, the reality of fear is that it can be used for both good and evil. While fear can serve as a valuable warning and guide us to safety, it can also be used to manipulate and control us. By understanding the power of fear and working to resist its effects, we can empower ourselves and create a more just and equitable world. Fear is a powerful emotion that can have dire consequences when it is used to manipulate and control people. The algorithm of fear is a tool that is often used to exploit our insecurities and vulnerabilities, and it can be used to create a false sense of security or induce feelings of vulnerability and helplessness. One of the most concerning aspects of the algorithm of fear is its ability to manipulate our emotions. It can target our deepest fears and anxieties, creating a sense of dread and uncertainty that can be difficult to shake. This can lead to irrational decision-making, as we are more likely to act impulsively when we are in a state of fear. The algorithm of fear can also be used to manipulate and control our behavior and decisions. By inducing feelings of vulnerability and helplessness, it can influence the choices we make and the actions we take. This can be particularly concerning when it is used by those in positions of power to further their own interests, often at the expense of others. The consequences of fear can be dire. When we are afraid, we are more likely to act in ways that are harmful to ourselves and others. This can lead to a breakdown of trust and cooperation within communities, and can contribute to the spread of misinformation and conspiracy theories. However, it is possible to resist the effects of the algorithm of fear by seeking out diverse sources of information and practicing critical thinking. We can empower ourselves and make more informed decisions. It is also important to be willing to question the information that we are presented with, particularly when it comes from sources that may have an agenda or bias. In conclusion, the algorithm of fear is a powerful tool that can be used to manipulate and control our emotions and behavior. However, it is possible to resist its effects by being vigilant and informed, and by practicing critical thinking and questioning the information that we are presented with. By doing so, we can mitigate the dire consequences of fear and build a more just and equitable society. As we move into the future, the use of the algorithm of fear remains a significant concern. With the rapid advancement of technology, there is a growing risk that this tool could be used to even greater effect to manipulate and control people's emotions and actions. The algorithm of fear can be used in a variety of ways, including to create a false sense of security or induce feelings of vulnerability and helplessness. By manipulating our emotions, it can target our deepest fears and anxieties, creating a sense of dread and uncertainty that can be difficult to overcome. This can lead to irrational decision-making and a breakdown of trust within communities. Furthermore, the algorithm of fear can be used to control and manipulate our behavior and decisions, exploiting our weaknesses and vulnerabilities to further the interests of those with power and influence. This can have dire consequences for individuals and societies as a whole, leading to a breakdown of trust and cooperation, and contributing to the spread of misinformation and conspiracy theories. The future of fear is uncertain, but there are steps that we can take to mitigate its impact. By educating ourselves about the risks and limitations of technology, and by practicing critical thinking and questioning the information that we are presented with, we can better resist the effects of the algorithm of fear. It is also important to remain vigilant and to hold those in positions of power accountable for their actions, particularly when they are using fear as a tool to manipulate and control people. In conclusion, the algorithm of fear is a powerful tool that can be used to manipulate and control our emotions and behavior. As we move into the future, it is important that we remain aware of the risks associated with this tool, and that we take steps to mitigate its impact. By doing so, we can build a more just and equitable society, where fear is not used as a tool to control and manipulate people. As society becomes more dependent on technology, the algorithm of fear is becoming an even more significant concern. Social media platforms and news outlets are using algorithms to curate content and tailor it to each individual user, leading to an echo chamber effect where people are only exposed to information that confirms their existing beliefs and fears. This creates a dangerous cycle where people are continually fed information that reinforces their existing fears and anxieties. It can lead to a distorted perception of reality and a sense of helplessness and hopelessness. The consequences of fear are significant and far-reaching. Fear can lead to irrational decision-making, political polarization, and social unrest. It can also lead to increased violence, discrimination, and hatred towards specific groups. It is essential to be aware of the algorithm of fear and its potential impact on our lives. We need to be conscious of the information we consume and the sources of that information. We must also be critical of the narratives presented to us and take the time to consider different perspectives. Ultimately, the power of fear can be diminished by education, critical thinking, and a willingness to engage with others with different opinions and beliefs. By being proactive in our approach to fear, we can take control of our emotions and make informed decisions that will benefit ourselves and society as a whole.